So in this video you can see how a DIY guy like myself deals or experiences an XC90 transmission. I strip bolts, I have to cut my way in, I build a neat testing rig for the solenoid valves, one positive. I find that the expert advice I was given is incorrect, but I do find out what is actually wrong with the transmission and I can fix it. Right, to remove the cover, you have numerous 12mm bolts around the top. They're quite simple, they come out quite easily. You have seriously problematic T40 bolts down the bottom here. Now, when the engine is sitting on the subframe, you can't get direct access to them. So I've lifted the engine slightly by removing the two engine mount bolts front and rear. I've left the right hand side still attached. Lifted her up with my jack and have direct access to the T-nuts. I shattered one of my other T-bolts. I had to buy a whole bloody set to replace it, as that happens. I was successful in loosening this one. This one I think it may be stripped. I'm just going to tap it, make sure it's in. That's not good. We don't block the camera view. I got it. Yeah, it felt released, or not. It may have just stripped it. That would suck if it's stripped. Yep, it looks stripped to me. Getting nowhere quickly. I hate stripped bolts. Here on the right, it's a single bolt that holds the bracket that holds all the wiring up the top there. So you can remove the bracket that goes onto this bolt and the cover. Now I've got a oil drip tray below, but most of the fluid should be out. Okay, something's hanging up on something. Oh yeah, this rubber bushing does get in the way a bit, but no. There you have it. The valve body exposed. I know from memory that these have pins that hold them in place. You can just pull them out like so, and the solenoid just pops out. Yeah, it would just be nice to know that I was correct or I was correct, or the advice I had was correct, that the failure of these is causing the transmission change problem and slipping. So I've rigged up this testing unit for the solenoid valves. See if I can get a closer view of it. So basically it's a bit of a 5/8 transmission hose clamp, and it fits quite nicely in there. And the other end I just made a hose connector, so it's a nice little testing tool. These solenoids, the end's got pulled off because I didn't put enough lubrication in here, and it was a little bit too tight. I don't think it broke it. I think it's just they just click on, but just be wary of that. But it's a really good way of testing the solenoids. A cheap way too. It's only a few dollars worth of parts. But I'm glad I did that, because I've tested all the solenoids that were in the transmission and they're all good. No problems with them. So I did some more reading and now believe the expert was incorrect, and the transmission problem is the forward drive band and not the solenoids at all. Right, so change of direction, as I've just said. We have to get away into the transmission. So luckily I had discovered this before it was too late. Look, it makes far more sense, you know, when you're in hindsight. The fact that so that's the loom, it comes off quite easy. Sorry about the fly. Now I've taken one of these apart before, so I know you could take the valve body off without splitting it from the main case. I mean, you probably should take the valve body off to clean it up, but there's check balls and things in there, so I'd rather just take it easy. I might just take out, looks like you have to take these out again just to just drop that into the oil pan. Great. These are the new solenoids. I don't feel bad about putting new solenoids in this. Yep, so watch those clips, they spring around. I know that one doesn't have it. Okay, that's most of the solenoids. There's this front plate here, you can leave that on. That one, you can actually see it doesn't go into the transmission body, so you can leave that one. This one here, there's one just under it, and it's a different size. I presume 8mm. Yeah, they're just firm, well, a bit more than firm, a little bit of a crack, but not a huge amount of torque required. Well, it's come to this, the angle grinder. I can't seem to get any grip on those with multi-grips. Every single, even these supposedly non-strip wrenches, just not happening. So the old angle grinder. Now I'm not going to cut the heads off just yet. I'm going to try a screwdriver slot first. Go from there. I'm pretty sure even if I have to cut the heads off, the whole lot will come out forward anyway, so I'm not too stressed by that. I just don't think a screwdriver head slot's going to be strong enough to break that. We'll see how we go. Fuck. Well, the butchery's now done. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to do this little one down here as well. So it seemed that those 4 were over torqued at some stage, making life incredibly difficult. So there are more bolts that actually hold the whole valve body and case, I guess you call it. I think these 2. Right, it broke away from here, which is good. It seems to have broken away from there too. Just the last one, way down here. There's nothing. Oh, it's a bit of a lip there, but I suppose I can get a screwdriver. Can't really get a screwdriver in there. Right, there you go. And there's a gasket behind there. Right. She's out. I just started pulling some things out. I haven't watched a video yet how to do it, but that just pulled out from in there. On top of that, oops. So that just goes like that. I'm not sure if it. That's all it is, and that was on the top. So that came out pretty straightforward. There's a little clip around this. I'll leave that. Probably best to keep these things in order. I pulled out the drive shaft for the oil pump. There's a little clip here, and this one is keyed on top. So the chains, it all just pulls off. There's like nothing holding things in place. It's actually quite surprising how loose everything is. So I've pulled off. That was not the first, but it's one of the first components. That goes the other way around. So the whole thing here comes off. There's a bearing plate on the back. I'm putting everything in a clean place. So this just seems to, everything's just flopping around in there. It's quite surprising. Alright, I can see this is where I think it's the second and third band sits on, so that wear on it. Clutch plates in there, they look pretty good, just because there's not any play in there. All these bearing edges look okay just on first inspection. This thingamajig, right? Lots of clutch plates and things inside there. And nothing particularly scary looking. This is one of the first bands. Wow, it looks actually really good. I think. So, there's a weird, yeah, no idea. It's all very shiny and happy looking. Oh, you can see there's a little bit of metal. That's what we don't want to see. It looks like it's getting heat into it, doesn't it? Yeah, it's just amazing how loose everything is. Whatever that is. Some kind of gear. Everything looks, that's unusual. It's got stepped pieces there. Okay, I think that's the first of the planetary gear. It's thingy-majiggy. Oh, why did I pull that apart? I don't know, probably not. I was meant to look at these for movement. Planetary gears, they look really good, all the teeth look really good. Okay, so let's put these back in order. That goes back on there. Oh, it's quite tight. That doesn't seem right. Surely. Why would that be tighter than that? That's really tight. How's that meant to come off? Well, that's a bit silly. Unless that shrunk or something. It's just tight. It's going to be the little clip on the end here. It's going to be hard to get past. That's a real tricky one. Trying to pinch. Ah, there you go. So that, well, that's now just changed shape, hasn't it? Or has it? I have to watch the video back for that. More planetary. Apparently these washers can fall out. There's copper washers in them. They all look good. More drums and bearing surfaces and washers. And this may be the culprit, and it looks broken. That's what we want. We want to find something broken. Okay, now I don't think they're meant to be in two parts. You'll note here, of course, where it has broken away here, down in here. You also note the different colours, black and brown. So this outer rim was slipping and burning. So in checking out the clutches, I'm not sure which one this is, but there's a split ring that holds it all in. It's very easy to remove with a screwdriver and drop. These are the metal plates. I think it's the outer one. And they're the clutch friction discs. Now, I guess I can measure the wear, but they're not black or anything. They actually look fine. The discs look fine. So I suspect this is all okay. I will measure the gap between, I think it's this outer ring and the split ring, how much it moves, can move forward, because these will get pushed, pressure plate pushed into this to grip. So that should be under a certain, I think it's 60 thou. I will check that, but I have a feeling that that's all pretty good. Because the transmission was failing at the band, I don't think these would slip. These would never get a chance to engage, I presume. But yeah, it all looks fine. So it's been about 4 weeks into the process, only about 3 full days. So I've got to remove the engine and now stripped the transmission and found the faulty band. A new band has arrived in the post. Cost me $139. It's not an original Volvo one, but I hope it's okay. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to just replace this, put it all back together, and my fingers are going to be crossed. I've also got timing belt and some seals that I need to fix on the right hand side. I'll do a video on that, and then a follow-up video on putting it all back together and praying that it all works. So yeah, I hope you enjoy watching my journey. This is showing the reality of a DIY guy attempting pretty major auto works in his home shed. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Have a good one.